Well, hello there, partner. Go on and hang up your hat, grab yourself a whiskey, and pull up in the easy chair. We're coming off the range of 9 to 5s with a whole herd of news stories that we've been steaming over like a cow patty in the Texas heat. As they say, the chickens are finally coming home to roost. And we're here to ruffle some feathers and ensure accountability ain't just a concept, it's reality. It's that time where the day's drama casts its longest shadow. So let's light a candle to the chaos of current events, the whirlwind of politics, and the tangled webs of corruption that we find ourselves entwined by. It's time to ramble our way into the twilight. Welcome to Sunset Rants.
Just fast forward through everything. What up?
What
Sorry.
up?
Sorry for that. If anyone's just joining in now, we had some technical difficulties, but we are good to go. And we'll just go ahead and start our day. Quick thing, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Sleepy, but that's every day.
Good. Yeah, I need something. I need to take a 5 hours or something, but we'll get through it.
Yeah.
So, first topic of the day, our boy Cash Patel. Have you seen anything about this so far?
I saw a little bit, but I didn't delve too much into it. But I know that he had been appointed as leading the ATF. But no, I mean, what have you heard about it?
I mean, I know back in February there was some stuff going on, but between him and the FBI, it's just spread kind of thing. But what we'll do is we'll get into coming from Reuters. Washington, April 10th, the second ranking official at the U.S. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives has resigned after being given the option to leave or be removed. Two people familiar with the matter told Reuters on Thursday. Marvin Richardson, a 35-year-old ATF veteran, resigned late on Wednesday as deputy director of the agency, which is tasked investigating firearm, bomb, and arson-related crimes. It was reported on Wednesday that FBI Director Kash Patel had been removed by President Donald Trump's administration as acting ATF director and replaced by Army Secretary Daniel Driscoll. So nothing too wild, just some moves that are just being played around. Like I said, when Cash has got such a big burden just on himself, as director of FBI, that's just wearing like what he's doing spread out thin. I couldn't even imagine like the stress running two massive departments like that. So,
no, and honestly, I'd rather have Kash Patel just focused on the FBI and cleaning it out and catching like the actual criminals and the investigations that need to happen on like all the how would you say it, the leakers and the bad apples that are in the FBI. Like I don't know, I'd rather him just focus on that than having to like be in all these different cookie jars.
Yeah, and to be honest, I haven't really even seen anything. Kind of gone to touch on what you just said. I really haven't seen too much as far as leakers or like the bad apples. Like when Penn Bondi was trying to release some of the files for the JFK. There's like some people who are just completely going against what she was saying, or not what she was saying, but what she was trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, here's a paper, and like she just handed out, unbeknownst to herself, just all the same stuff that was already there. She was pissed. So that doesn't look good on him by any means. Or I know we were talking about a couple of weeks ago the gentleman who worked for Alec Jones. He was murdered, and then all those multiple SWATs, like within a week. I call it
Yeah.
was going to be looked at by the FBI.
Yeah,
So,
I'd rather him focus on all that stuff than, yeah, I mean, I could understand that it was a temporary maybe position that they put him in charge of that. But
mhm.
I mean, if you're spread real thin, you can't do like a real good job. Things are gonna fall between the cracks, and we don't need any of that right now. We need laser focus on actually getting these people. And I did see that one tweet that Cash Patel had put out that said, just because you don't see things happening doesn't mean they're not happening. And I feel like, in a way, they do need to have an airtight case. So their investigations need to leave no room for like questioning if they did the right thing, you know?
Yeah. No,
So,
and that's another thing too. I totally forgot about. Just because nothing's being said doesn't mean nothing's happening.
yes.
We don't have to know play by play every single thing. And I've said this before. It's just, we're so used to just like instant gratification on what's going on, like the
Yeah.
rapid knowledge, especially like for us, we're always doing like, what's Johnny on the spot for coverage. But I'm sure there's a lot of stuff going on, especially when you're
Yeah.
tracking, any kind of like terroristic threats, like with swatting and stuff like that. There'll definitely be some stuff that's going to be happening in the future. But not to fast forward too fast, but keep on schedule. But we'll go into the next one. Economy.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna do the
this
dance.
is coming from the Communist News Network. I'll just wait for it to get popped up. But essentially, the U.S. inflation has factually dropped 2.4% in March. Let's see what we got. U.S. inflation cooled to a 6-month low in March, but tariff pressures are quickly mounting. Inflation slowed sharply in March. New data showed Thursday, underscoring the continued strength and resilience of the economy ahead of President Trump's aggressive trade moves. And at other timelines, such news would have stoked optimism that Americans' cost of living is no longer surging. Yeah, instead, though, Thursday's Consumer Price Index report was likely another example of what might have been for the U.S. economy. It doesn't matter if it's what might have been. That just puts it back to where it is.
Yeah.
If you diverge, the roads are going to come back together.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it would have been nice.
Optimistic. Huh?
It would have been nice if we didn't have the Biden economy, but I feel like it helped open the eyes of the naysayers that Trump was doing a good job in the beginning. Like I felt it in my line of work. It was so good. And then all of a sudden Biden happened and the economy just took a dump and everything started getting more expensive. And they were telling us that, oh no, there is no inflation, but it was very, very clear. And then, going to the grocery store and all that fun stuff became not very fun because you walk out with like 2 bags of groceries and it's like $250 and you're just like, what the hell happened? Gas and electricity. That's what I was telling our producer Brian a little while ago. So I have solar panels and normally my solar panels don't cover all of my electricity. During the summer, my electric bills will probably be about $70. During the winter time when I don't have the AC running, my bills would be like $30, nothing crazy, right? But even with my solar panels, my electric bills have been like $140, like somewhere around there. And
during the spring and summer?
Yeah, this is recently, like 2 bills ago, it was like $170. And I'm like, I'm not running the heat. I'm not running anything, whatever. Right. I'm just figuring that like all these utilities are going up. My gas bill is like $100 and something, which I'm just like, what the hell? Okay, whatever. But I was really shocked. I got an email for my auto pay on my electric bill today and it was $60. And I'm like, what? I was like, what? Like, whatever Trump is doing, it's working, and the people are going to start feeling relief really, really, really soon. Tariffs, like really and truly, tariffs do not affect us that much on a daily, like a tariff to China isn't going to affect me personally unless I'm buying stuff off of fucking Temu, which I've never done in my whole life.
Yeah.
Since all of Temu started. I did buy some stuff off of Wish, which is the same shit, but
now we have to start paying 75 cents versus 50 cents.
All this stuff breaks like because it's really, really cheaply made. So, and then the shipping would take like a month or more. And I was just like, yeah, I'm an instant person. I'll stick with like Amazon, or if I don't want to wait, I'll go buy it at the store. I don't care if I pay a few dollars more.
Yeah.
But like, on a daily level, we don't really feel, we're not going to feel these tariffs unless we're maybe you're a business owner that's relying on product made in China, and I understand that that's going to be a hit to some businesses and their costs, but I feel like those are going to be very short term while we bring back the manufacturing back to the United States. So overall, I feel like inflation dropping, we're going to feel a lot faster than like any of the tariffs that are affecting other countries, and it's going to balance itself out. But again, I'm no expert, but that's how I see it and how my wallet feels it. So
yeah, no, and so even if so the inflation, there's a lot of stuff going on with this, kind of going so just looking at the GDP on this and the trending. Like if you were to look at historically, when the current POTUS has not been administration, it's either stayed stagnant or hasn't budged. There's been zero stimulation or growth, and it was like that for decades. And so for us to even get back on track, at one point, I don't want to say this and be incorrect, but what was the highest inflation? Was it like 9% or something like that?
I think that sounds about right.
Yeah, I could stand to be corrected on this one, but to do that and then for decades, it was just always stagnant, and that was like a big thing. All the companies were moving out, all the companies were outsourcing, whether it be labor or intangible. I don't want to say intangible, but just administrative duties. Like when you call T-Mobile and you have to talk to someone in the Philippines or something like that.
Yeah.
The outsourcing. But for it to be on that huge state of a decline, and then of course CNN is going to be find some way to twist it, in a negative point of view. But the fact of the matter is, it's still going to help us out. A lot of people don't even understand, oh, tariff. It's the bandwagon. People never even used the word quarantine ever before quarantine happened. No one even knew what the word meant unless you watched the movie 28 Days Later. Nobody knew what that word meant. And so people just jump on this bandwagon, and if there's especially on the left, and they'll just become overnight
experts
because they saw 3 thumbnails. I'm like, I get the fuck out of here. So if we're on track to be this good, I'm proud of it. And then everyone the past couple of weeks, this is be a huge big thing as well on this one, is Warren Buffett even acknowledges, saying it's probably the best play he's ever seen in 50 years. But it was the purposeful tank in the stock market.
Yeah.
And so they were just having a field day, and now it's surging. So basically it just cleanses itself out. It's if you don't eat food, or you don't eat food or drink water or something like this for 3 days, it purges all the bad unhealthy cells from your body. Great way to help prevent cancer. Just not an enjoyable way.
No.
But if you look at that, these kind of trend things, I think this is great. But things are not going to be. It's always going to be volatile, no matter what. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm just happy, energy's, for you, perfect. I'm not excited to see my electric bill. I know it's going to be $400 or $500, but
Well, I think honestly, I feel like that's what my electric bill would be without my solar panels because last summer one of the I don't know, it was a transmitter or something broke in my solar panels, and this wasn't even summertime yet, and my electric bills were like $300, and so they were like $360, and um I'm not home most of the day. I'm usually, and neither is my husband. So it's like, that's just like energy that we're using in the evenings. And I do have free nights and weekends too. So I'm like, what would it be if I didn't have
What do you have?
my
Like
solar?
1990s, like AT&T?
No,
Free
for
nights
like
and
my
weekends, free
electric.
text and talk.
Well, yeah, that's how it was set up. And I left it on that plan, and I've just been renewing it because like usually it's the weekends where we have the AC blasting, and at nighttime when we have the AC blasting. So,
Yeah.
you know, um, yeah, I just find it really incredible that like we are going to feel relief. And the second thing that really bothers me about all this is Trump just became president in January. It's still in the beginning of April, you know, and in that short period of time he was able to correct so much of it. It's just, and in 4 years of Biden, like he wasn't able to fix shit. Not only that, I mean, just all the damage he did. He did so much damage in the first year that he was president, which we felt afterwards in the next few years following.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it's just like the fact that Trump was able to fix it so quickly just blows my mind. So they've been able to do this shit all the time. Like the president and everybody's been able to do this all the time, and they chose not to. Oh, we're going to lower gas prices. Look at what Biden did. He just released all our strategic oil reserves and fucked us over in the same way, which is just like, why you got to do things the stupid way? There's smart and efficient ways to go about things, but again, it just goes to show that these people, and it wasn't even Biden because he was never really the president. It's just the people that were managing things behind him are complete incompetent and inept stupid ass people, So, I mean, there's no other way to put it. He was just a puppet. They had their hand far up his ass and using him to speak, and that was about it. But like, it's really crazy how the whole time they had the power to correct things fast, and they chose to not to.
But that's the thing. Like these people, they could have, and I don't know how they even got into the positions or how they were like, as
I think a lot of them were
where their credentials are even
DEIs.
claimed. But like you'll see like all these people. I'll just keep saying this all the time. But you'll have these people who are professional, like analysts or professional economists. Everything that they've ever said has always been wrong or predicted. It's literally they're as good as like a palm reader or a tarot card reader.
They're guessing, educated
guesses.
Like,
oh, it's like, well, if we spend like $1 trillion, then we'll be $1 trillion in debt. So then our debt will go up. It's like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
Yeah.
They don't know what macroeconomics looks like.
No, and that's another good argument as to why we need smaller government, because clearly having all these people there and supposedly working for the government, has not benefited anybody in anything. Like they've done nothing to improve anything. Having all these people working is actually slowing things down and making things worse. So yeah, I mean, this proves so much that like we need to start cutting and cutting and cutting because it's working and it's effective. And no matter how much the left screams and cries about it, we're seeing results.
Yeah.
Period.
No, absolutely. When you have too many hands in the kitchen, it's always going to be the same.
Yeah.
So I'm just glad that everything's starting to like cool off. There's actually people doing their fucking job, because holy fucking shit. Like our entire lives until like, 2016 has just been nothing.
Yeah.
Like it's just been legitimately nothing. Just people not giving a shit. People just riding the coattails of like who was in front of them, so that way they can just make a dime.
Yeah.
Whether it be inside trading or something like this, or have a comfy job. But when you have too many hands in the kitchen, the food's never going to be good. The food will take too long, or it's just going to get fucked up. And that's
Yeah.
exactly what's been happening.
Yep.
So we now have something where it's in place, fucking working, and we're all fucking happy. Now we can laugh and point at all the fucking retards who've been whining and crying about this and about that just because some lesbian on CNN told them to be upset. Started crying
Yeah.
about nothingness. I don't know. But it's a sick world.
Yeah.
And then with that one, we'll kind of go into a really fucked story.
Yeah.
Like, this is fucked even for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll let you explain it.
Oh no, this is it. This is it, boys and girls. Man accused of sex with a corpse in New York City subway. You know, there has to be something like, they have to be called like tunnel people or something, because we got Florida man down here, but all the fucking disgusting lewd shit. Like, we have wild people down here in Florida, but it's at least
We've
it's
heard.
entertaining.
Yes, Florida man.
Man sticks thumb up Gator's butt and robs a bank or something like that. Like, all true stories. Look up your birthday, Florida man. I really implore anyone watching, you'll have a kick, and that will be your birthday Florida man story, and you're going to see some wild stuff. But going into this, Lower Manhattan, New York City, a man is accused of a heinous crime in New York City subway. It's gross, but why is it a crime? You know, it's truly a victimless crime.
Well, in a sense, right? Yes, this person obviously is dead, is not going to know, but it's considered desecration of a corpse.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just that it's just you know, regardless if you're religious or not, but that's kind of like an ungodly thing to do. Like the person's dead. Depending on how long they'll be dead, it's vile, you know. I mean, it's
like
a
CNC.
Cold, you know, corpse, rigor mortis. Like, I don't know, the body's doing weird things as it starts decomposing. Depending on how long, I guess we would have to look more at the facts and see. I don't know. Maybe a freshly dead corpse is more inviting, I guess, if you could put it that way. But like, why?
This lady, talk about rigor mortis. I think it was this Colombian lady. She was having sex with her very old and large husband, and he died while they were having sex, and she was taking it from the back. And I don't know how it happened, but they ended up going into rigor mortis or something. I know it takes a while, but you know, I'm sure there's more to the story in this. But she ended up going into rigor mortis, and she had to call 911 because like he was just stuck in her.
Oh my!
So the suspect is wanted for having sex with the corpse of a homeless man on the southbound R train in the vicinity of the Whitehall Street subway station in Lower Manhattan just before 12:30 a.m. So, shit, he is wanted for sexual misconduct. Investigators said he is not believed to have known the victim. The deceased appears to have died of natural causes at some point before. Shit. This is so gross. The suspect was last wearing a blue baseball cap, black hooded jacket, a yellow hooded sweatshirt, jeans. Yeah, this is just gross. You know, and I can guarantee
a homeless man.
He's just gonna slap on the wrist, and he's gonna go bang another.
But like body. A homeless man.
Oh, he's like a crusty butt and stuff.
Yeah, like. That's not appealing. Like, why you see a dead homeless dude on the side of the road, and your first thought is, "I'm gonna have sex with him."
Oh, this is extra crusty and funky. Here's my opportunity.
Like it's just like my brain is just going in like 1,000 different directions that are just darker and darker and darker and nastier and nastier.
I think it could get literally any nastier than a banging old crusty stinky homeless man who's dead. Yeah,
I mean, at least maybe it was a fresh corpse, but still, I mean, just that just clearly shows there's something severely. Yeah, no, he was probably like, it tastes really right.
Ew. This is so.
I told you it could get nastier. You don't know my brain, dude. So yeah, it I feel like the person who did this obviously has some really, really, really bad issues. And they need to be found because, after sticking their pee in a dead person's, dead homeless dude's bunghole, you might need to get that checked. Just saying,
What?
I mean, you might get some fungal infection and it might, I don't know, fall off or something. I don't know. Oh, that's the guy. Ugh.
He looks like an Ecuadorian
I wonder if he's an illegal.
He has to be.
Oh.
He's an Ecuadorian Ron Jeremy of the illegal.
At least the guy was dead, dude. At least the homeless dude was dead. Oh, that's what he looked like when he did it?
This is like MTV Cribs. Hey, MTV Cribs, check out my rape shack. We have the freshest dead bungholes in all the city. Well, we even deliver.
Oh, God.
Ugh. Let's just fast forward off of this one. This is just gross. All the nasty shit just always happens in the subways. Don't move to New York, guys.
No.
Ugh. So, in some twist of irony, where is this coming from? From Newsweek, Trump admin faces insider trading investigation over stock market surge.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you really can't make this shit up. It's just ridiculous how they're phrasing all this, because I saw some post by Chuck Schumer and our favorite Shifty Schiff, and just the outrageous things that they are saying.
These people are truly delusional because
they really are.
Insider trading is like, hey, pass this bill for me.
That's their bread and butter.
And then we'll help you out. So then they buy the stocks, like the Nvidia. I think Nancy Pelosi made $22 million in one day off of Nvidia alone. They outbeat and outpaced professional investors.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Pelosi does all the time, and it's just like
they even have an app to follow her.
Yeah.
And so now it was just a stock market reset, and that's not insider trading. That's just shit. There's no inside trading. That's everybody looking.
Well, and the thing is, when the stock market was crashing, right? All these politicians are like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. And I remember saying the stock market is, and it's obviously it's like an investment, but it's also like a gamble, right? You win some, you lose some. It rises and falls, and it's very, very volatile. Unless you're planning to cash out your retirement or anything like that tomorrow, which I'm sure some people are, that could be very devastating for them. But that happens on any given day, that it can go up and down, So for me, I was just, it's going to go back up. There's all these things, all these countries have already promised to invest billions of dollars into the U.S. economy. This little bump in the road that's all it is. It's a bump in the road. It's going to go back up. And so when it started crashing, everybody's freaking out, and there's a lot of people panic selling. There's going to be people that are going to sweep in and buy at the low. Why wouldn't they? It makes perfect sense. And I, by no means, am any kind of stock market expert or anything to that fashion. I don't even own any stocks or anything like that. But it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. And so everybody went out and bought, and a lot of people went out of their way to purchase more, and the stock market went back up again. And now there's oh my God, Trump did something. It's Trump's fault. we got to investigate them. We got to do this. We got to do that. And it's like, y'all need to listen to yourselves. The only good thing that I feel that might come out of this is that a lot of politicians are saying that politicians shouldn't be trading stocks, which is just like, bingo, bitches. That's what you should have never been doing.
Gotcha, bitch. No,
yeah, gotcha, bitch.
No, it's true. Like, and you're not. There's
reverse psychology to get them to do what we want. You know,
that's literally what they've been doing this entire time too. It's like,
yeah, like okay, investigate all these motherfuckers for their insider trading, because I'm sure there is some. And
he even said stuff like this. It's like, oh, if Trump tries to like do something, then the Democrats will try to do this just to go against it and end up.
Yeah, and it really was a gotcha. You know, it really was. It's like, oh, dude, you guys are really that stupid.
There's a lot of common sense. But going into it, so Senator Adam Schiff had said Democrats in Congress will begin probing president. They will look for anything. There's nothing they can do, because I guarantee you.
Yeah.
Trump, especially now, is like he's making sure he doesn't have to deal with any of their bullshit. Administration for insider trading following the recent volatility in the markets caused by the shifting tariffs. Despite insisting that he would hold firm on his sweeping tariffs on trading partners around the world, Trump announced a 90-day pause on those countries on Wednesday. However, the president still increased tariffs on Chinese imports to 125%. Off rip, I don't know what they are with us, but I guarantee it's somewhere close or just a little bit higher. And they've been doing it for a long time. And he's been saying this forever.
Yeah.
And this is nothing new. Like, this has been done. What was it? FDR did this, I think. I don't know. I remember it was like, I forgot which president was when we were doing tariffs, and then we got off of the tariffs. And that's how we were making like our actual GDP.
Mm-hmm.
But then goes like, why does it matter? The stock market jumped quickly on Wednesday, with S&P 500 closing up 9.5%, following Trump's announcement of a 90-day pause on most tariffs. Markets around the world have seen a huge sell-off, with S&P 500 losing more than 10% following the president's announcement of his Liberation Day tariffs on April 2nd. Economists warned of a possible recession. That's what I think. Fuck economists.
Yeah, they don't know shit.
Yeah. On Wednesday, Schiff pointed to a statement that Trump posted to social media hours before announcing his 90-day tariff pause. This is a great time to buy DJT, Trump wrote on Truth Social minutes after the markets opened. Yes, he wants people to buy.
Yeah.
Like, this is the whole point. Like, there's no insider trading. And there's nothing wrong if you're just saying invest money. Shit, we wanted people to buy like war bonds during World War II.
Mm-hmm.
If we had anything like this, like social media, other than just the news and the radio saying buy war bonds, they're not going to try to do anything. And our government, our country runs off of the stock market to an extent. Let's see. Responding to a post, Schiff said that in the video on X, formerly Twitter, they always got to say that. So the question is between that tweet and Donald Trump's announcement that he was reducing tariffs on most other nations apart from China. The question is, who knew that president was going to do and did people? The question is, who knew what the president was going to do and did people around the president trade stock, knowing the incredible gyration hips the market would go through. Schiff said that Democrats were writing to the White House to demand answers, adding that he was fully cognizant on the fact that the White House is probably the last place to be forthcoming about this. How is it the last place? No, those on the Hill are the last place to be forthcoming. And if they open this is the best part about it. If they open this it's going to be Pandora's box for them. Because like, oh, really? Whoosh. Because what was it, 2-3 days ago? Like Elon was even saying like, oh shit, like there's a huge amount of genuine like laundering and corruption with certain politicians. And he was kind of leaning towards like Chuck Schumer.
Yep.
So it's like they're not gonna open that because it's just gonna like it's gonna be a stack like a house of cards. You pull one, they're all going to come down and they're going to be whining or crying saying, this isn't fair. I'm so used to being a spoiled little penis bitch and I'm going against everything that the plebs do because I just like taking advantage. Baby, what with me? I'm a Democrat. So I don't know. I think my impression is pretty spot on that one. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna shoot themselves in the foot because, like you said, they're opening Pandora's box, and by doing so, it's like, oh, look at what Trump did. But as the investigations start pouring, and now there isn't going to be, lenient or sympathetic special investigators. They're what is it? The kids say they're cooked. they really fucked themselves up by doing this. Like they really did. Like there's I have a teenage son, so they really done goofed by chasing after this, and it's good for us. It really is good for us, but really and truly, like Adam Schiff saying that he's opening an investigation, like just like the Russian collusion one, like the Russia collusion. What did he accomplish with that? Like nothing. Like he's
all found out that it was just bullshit.
Well, he said this whole time, I have all this evidence. It's like earth-shattering evidence. He didn't have shit to begin with, and he knew it. And he was told in all these like secret meetings that there was fucking nothing there. But he kept. So he just proved that he was inept and that he's just a fucking idiot. So go ahead and investigate, you dipshit. And, let's see how that fucking works out for you, because you're going to look even more like a stupid moron than you already are.
Yeah. And it's just wild. They just literally make stuff up. It's even been proven, and it was testified in Congress that it was just all false. Like there wasn't even like a dots to connect. It was just like,
well, he's still saying the Russia collusion. He's still trying to pretend like he proved something when he didn't prove shit. So, I'm all for, like, I will throw a party the day that his ass ends up in jail. I hope he does. I'm like all pro Schiff in jail. Like it's going to be the highlight of my life if he doesn't die beforehand. So we'll see.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't think anything's ever going to happen to these people.
I'm not going to hold my breath, but, you can only hope.
I got a wood desk, and I'm like...
Yeah, me too.
We can only go. But something kind of cool, going into the outer space, into the cosmic galaxies.
Mm-hmm.
At least ours, in our solar system.
To infinity and beyond.
To infinity and beyond. So April 2021, the next full pink moon is a super moon. But why are we reporting on this if this is from 2021? Huh.
I think that's just maybe it's just information, because it's supposed to be on April 12th of 2025.
Let me take a look. Here. Let's take a little gander. What's Chibit? Yeah, so April 12th. Yeah. So coming from my supercomputer, the next pink moon will occur Saturday, April 12th, 2025, reaching its peak illumination at 8:22 p.m. Despite its name, the pink moon won't appear pink.
Duh.
What the fuck do I care then? The term originates from the early spring bloom of the pink wildflower Phlox subulate, common in North America. This year's pink moon was also a micromoon occurring. It must be cold out.
A micromoon?
I'm a girl, not a shower.
I didn't know there was a thing as a micromoon. Like, how micro are we talking about?
Must be a Chinese New Year or something. The farthest point in Earth's orbit result appears slightly smaller and dimmer than typical moon. It says here, Orlando, Florida, the moonrise On April 12th, it's expected 7:30, 7:30 p.m. This for sunset. I'm not going to see it, but it almost kind of looks somewhat like a harvest moon. When
Yeah.
it's not going to look like that, but it's just that has to be touched. But no, I think that's cool.
Yeah, I can see the supermoons here because I'm in Texas, and I live in a small town that's like about an hour and a half. Like the next big city is like about an hour and a half, and so there is light pollution, but it's not like when I lived in California, you never saw the stars. Here, you could see a whole like plethora of stars.
No,
It's beautiful.
I can't see the stars for shit. It's not.
Oh no! I mean, if you live in a place where you've never had stars and you move to somewhere where you could see the stars at night, I don't think you could ever move back to somewhere where you can't see the stars. It's just, it's beautiful. I love sitting outside and looking up at the stars and taking pictures of them and shit. So usually, if there's a big moon, it feels different. Like there's so much light coming off the moon.
It casts a shadow.
It does. It's really badass. Like it's just, I don't know. It's breathtaking to me. I absolutely love it. So usually, if there's like a super moon or anything like that, or even when we have the blue moons, which newsflash, they're not blue. And they also have. I think there's also like a red moon. They go. How the hell do they call it? There's a few supposedly colored moons. Yeah, that aren't really colored moons, but it's so awesome to see the moon just so close up. Like it feels like you could almost like reach up and grab it, and it's like really cool. I mean, it's not massive like it is in some places, but it's still a lot larger in the sky than it normally would be. So I really, 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 really love it. Really love it. I'm looking forward to it.
So I had to pull it up, but I took this photo. It was at Christmas. I was with my dog. It was 11:30 at night. In my
wow.
And that's how bright this moon was.
Yeah.
It was the coolest thing ever. Like it was almost daylight and it was like 11:30 at night. And so like, like on the East Coast, it's like one of the first places, well, it is the first place to get dark. So I'm facing the Atlantic and it was 11:30 at night. So it'll be cool. Like I'm excited for it. Anytime I see the stars, I'll probably want to be St. Augustine. But do you live like on the west part? Like okay, because I know over there there's like a government regulation for like light pollution, so it has the lowest light pollution in all of like all of the United States.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I mean, I didn't know any of this when I moved to Texas, but yeah, I'm never leaving. That's all I can say. I'm never leaving. I might relocate somewhere within Texas, but unless it goes blue, that's the only way I think I would ever leave Texas, if it goes blue. I do not want to live in a Democrat state ever again in my life. Period. I refuse.
All right. But it looks like we're catching back up on time, so thank God. So let's get into our caption this.
Woo!
The hell?
Oh my.
What are we supposed to do with this? So if you're new here, at the end of every segment, we have to caption this. We get a random AI generated photo and we'll just come up with something like random memes. We just basically turn it into a meme. And like, we'll pick up the best ones and then end up turning into some merch. We've got some pretty good ones so far. And you'll be able to check that out on our merch shop. It's like Samuel L. Jackson, and he's like, "What was it, air motherfucker? Do you bend it?"
Yo,
don't you have that one?
No, Brian has that one.
Brian has that one. Yeah, that one's one of my favorites.
That one's hilarious.
So
all right, see. Well,
this is a toughie. I know if Vash is watching, or if Aaron's watching, or they're usually pretty quick, and they'll be able to get our thinking brains going.
Yeah, the rhino. It's funny because his legs is like one leg split into two. Like if you look closely at his legs, and then his shirt just kind of melts up into his skin. You gotta love the AI images, right? They try.
Let's see. I got nothing.
I can't think of anything either, to be honest with you.
We need funny stuff.
There's only like one bison though, and it's like a rhino party. Like, are those like our Republican rhinos?
See, that's what I was thinking, but then like there's like Skittle colors.
I find it weird that there's two green ones in the background.
Maybe they're like the twins, like like those Dum twins from what's it called, Alice in Wonderland.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot their names.
Yeah, I don't know. I ain't got much. Those two in the back are like rubbing horns together.
Oh, yeah. Rub my nose harder.
Yeah, the rhino
so
playing
horny
hockey.
For you, green rhino. I'm so horny for you.
And then the blue rhino's got like two horns coming out of one hole. Do you see that?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. We got some horns, some horny issues.
I just got a good one.
Did I inspire you?
Yeah. You inspired me. What are they called? The muse?
Yeah.
From Greek times. Let's see.
Provide inspiration.
I wrote Mr. Beast wasn't expecting this to be such a horny game of slapstick.
Oh, see? You did pretty good there.
Well, thank you. No.
It didn't pop up, but yours never wants to pop up for some reason.
Yeah, I know. I gotta see a doctor about that.
Well, just remember, if it lasts more than 4 hours.
Yeah. If it lasts more than 4 hours, I'm definitely not going back to the doctor. I'll tell you that.
I mean, you gotta have that drained.
Yeah, if I die, I just make sure I won't be on a train in New York.
Well, at least you died with a raging boner.
That would be my.
Put that not on a subway.
Put that on my tombstone. Subway dealers eat fresh. Oh God. There is no correlation with that and Jared Fogle. It's for everyone to know.
Well, thank you for mentioning that.
Hey, you gotta make sure people.
I don't know. I got nothing. Like I'll start thinking of something and then it like goes away. I guess it could be bumping horns. I don't know. Oh, poor Brian. No, it's not.
No, ridicule, shame.
No, stop
it. Get this guy high. Expand his mind. Put on some psychedelics.
Well, yeah, we could like generate images and put them in the file too.
So has anyone else got anything going on, or am I just taking this one by default?
I think you're just gonna have to take it by default because I don't know if it's issue 2 because I don't see a whole lot of comments coming through. So I think there might be a glitch. I mean, X has been. I've been seeing a lot of people having issues with it the last couple of days. So yeah.
Can we have like some confetti come down from the top? Because I want.
I mean, you could make your own confetti and like toss it up and kind of celebrate yourself. Give yourself a little trophy. You are the winner! Yay!
It's like a thank you. You love me. You really love me. Like from the mask. Sweet. All right, no worries. You know, I kind of.
Oh boy.
Glad we were able to catch up on everything today, though. You know, even with some of those technical difficulties. But you know, it's technology, so something's always going to happen, no matter what. But you know, it is what it is. You got any kind of final thoughts before we close out?
Well, just reiterating that, you know, we can't really listen to the fear mongers. You know, realistically, what they're saying and what we're seeing are two different things. So we're seeing benefits, good things are happening, and they're trying to just like steamroll and talk shit and block everything that Trump is trying to do, because I feel like they're scared that if we see how much things are changing for the positive, they're going to look even more incompetent than they are. It makes them look bad that Trump is able to do so much. So they're going to try to block him just for that purpose. So we just got to stay positive. We're starting to feel the effects on our wallets. It's only going to get better from here. And yeah, don't let those naysayers and negative people, you know, your liberal friends or family that are trying to scare you or try to convince you that things are actually really, really, really bad. No, we all know that they're really good, and we're feeling it. It's going to get better, and we just got to keep moving forward. So
yeah, no, I agree. I think a lot of Americans are starting to notice now exactly, you know, like people have been like more aware, if you would, you know, not just to listen to like the man behind the curtain. And I think that's why, like, you know, the president's administration right now have like, you know, the highest polls like since. You know, he's more popular now than when he was elected, and people are just starting to see us. And like now, you know, all the cuckoos are now just starting to realize like they're just really cuckoos and just like completely out of date. You know, like those. Sure, they had like a few rallies, like even in your town, those like hands-off rallies, and it's just like an old bunch of like boomers that are just like out of date. And people are noticing it's like, no, dude, you don't live in reality. And people are starting to actually like waking up and see the reality.
Here in my town, I'm gonna be honest with you, there wasn't a whole bunch of like protests or rallies or anything like that. We had one Black Lives Matter rally where like there was this one black kid that held a sign that said "fuck the police," and then a police officer went up to him and they started talking, and by the end of it they shook hands, and they made a whole newspaper article about it, because you know, really and truly our police here, we had a really bad police chief. He's in prison now for bribery and corruption, I think, or embezzlement or some fun shit like that. But I think ever since then, it really got cleaned up here. We have a great police chief now, and you know, it's a pretty small community. So it's, I mean, if you're getting arrested, it's because you're doing some dumb shit. And it gets publicized. Everybody, our jail logs get publicized every day. So we get to see everybody, and our local newspaper publishes stories on everybody that gets arrested. So everybody knows who you are, which kind of like public humiliation is a great deterrent, you know?
Yeah, no, but, I follow the Orlando mugshots. And,
really?
The police department posts everything. And it's funny. Like, it is hilarious. It is like, it's meme central. It's fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
See, like, the weirdest people there.
You do.
See, like, the most attractive little, like, Mexican or Puerto Rican chick. And, like, everyone's like, what's your bail? What's her bail?
Yeah.
Like, I can save her. And like,
it's the same over here. We had like a guy that looked just like Jesus, like straight up like the pretty Jesus. and everybody was like, oh my God. And then they're making fun of, because he had great hair. So it was just like, oh my God, he needs to be hired by like Herbal Essences or whatever, you know, doing these L'Oreal commercials. Yeah, no kidding. So yeah, it's really funny. But yeah, we were really lucky that we didn't have, you know, we weren't exposed to all that crap here. But yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it was a good way to close out today. You know, just people being more aware. We didn't talk about it today, but that crash. I know one of our shows is going to be covering that helicopter crash in Manhattan today. I think like 6 people passed away. So when we get more information, we'll be able to, you know, bring it out. I don't want to don't like reporting these things like all the time.
Yeah.
Because I know at one point it was just like all the time, but it just brings light to it, you know? And so hopefully, you know, those people didn't have to suffer too much. Yeah, it's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
But, no, you know, we got a good weekend coming to us. So, you know, if you guys are too drunk, you know, please take an Uber home. Stay safe. We'll see you guys next week. Oh, also, QR code. You'll be able to check out our merch on top of that. It's for me here, but
for me, it's over there.
You know, see all the shows, any missed episodes you want to check out or merch. You know, you can come hang out with us on Discord as well. Huge community, tons and tons of lovely people. You know, we literally just talk about the same stuff we do here, so it's a lot of fun. But if that's it, we will see you guys next week. So take care.
Bye.
Bye.
So I got to thinking, there's MAHA, Make America Healthy Again. MAGA, Make America Great Again. But what we really need to do is make America follow the Constitution again. Motherfucker. That sounded better in my head.